Hey guys, I don't know if anyone's here yet. I'm just logging in. It might take a little while for a few people to join in. So let me know in the Chatango box below if you're watching it from the registration page. Not the registration page, sorry, the page that I sent you the link of. So I'm waiting to see if anyone, let me know who's here. I feel very nervous. And I've got my boyfriend on standby as well, just in case. Oh, 21 people are here. Yay, that's good news. So I've got my boyfriend on standby in case something goes horribly wrong with my tech, because this is very new to me. So you're gonna have to bear with me. Just gonna give it, say hi in the Chatango box, guys, if anyone, let me know who's watching. And then I can say hi back. Hopefully that is working, the Chatango box. Oh, yay, Belgium is here. Oh, that's good. So if you're not, yay! Hi from Slovenia. Hi Kata. Hi Anon. If you want to make sure that you're on the Chatango box so that you can leave messages, make sure you log in via the sign up link that's for the webinar, and then you should get the link so you can join. So that way you can ask obviously on the Chatango boxes and stuff like that. Hi from Lapland, that's so cool. We've got Alicia in Edinburgh. We've got, I think, Miss Jodie from Canada. I think I know who that is. Hi guys. So I'm just waiting to see who's coming along, and we'll get started soon. It's so funny this being live. This feels absolutely hilarious to me. Hey from Italy. Hey Beatrice. This is really, really funny. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Easter, whatever you're doing. I hope you've had lots of chocolate and lots of time to relax today and do nothing. And hopefully you're ready to do a little bit of learning. Oh, hi Louise from London. This is so exciting. I'm so excited, guys. I'm literally like nervous / excited because this is a whole new thing for me doing live. So let me know how you guys are finding it. So I think I'll wait a minute longer and then we'll get started. Here we got here, hola from Portugal. Hi Diana. Hi from Brazil. Hi Lola. Oh, it's so lovely. I love that you guys are all watching in different countries. To me, that is the coolest thing about this, is that we can all chat together, hang out live, and I can't wait to hear your questions at the end. So we're going to have a live Q&A later. So I'm really excited. Who's this? Oh, hi from Ireland. Hi, Nicola. Happy Easter. Oh, I've not actually had that much chocolate today. I think I've managed to demolish half a pack of mini eggs, and which is quite good for me. So far, so good. Okay. Right. I think we have hello from LA. Okay, hi Madeline. I think it's going live to my YouTube as well. I think I have got, Belgium is here. Yes, I think it is coming up through the YouTube. Let me know if the link that I put in my last video is working to take you to the webinar. If not, what I can do is see if I can put the link to this in my chat box. So if I do, this is where I might need my boyfriend to help me do the techie stuff. Dave, if I want to put the link into this so they can watch from the lead pages, is it just the one? Bear with me, guys. This is what I mean. This is the first little bits of techie things. So I reckon this bit. So I'm going to put copy. So I'm going to put this into the YouTube link. If anyone's on watch my video today, I'll put the link in there so you can join from there, just in case anyone can't find the lead pages thing. So I'm just doing that now. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on my Twitter, actually. That's probably the quickest way for you to get it. So go to my Twitter at Harry Makes It Up if anyone is struggling with the link. And I'll copy that now into my Twitter. And that will take you directly to the place with the Chatango box as well. So we can all chat and have fun. Okay, so I'm just tweeting that now. I've got the iPad nearby as well. So, okay, so I've just tweeted the link for anyone who is struggling to get onto the one with the Chatango box, which basically means you can send me questions as we're doing this, which is really nice. And obviously there'll be like a live Q&A at the end as well. Yeah. Oh, some lovely messages, guys. Hi from Moldova. Estonia. Wow, Julia from Spain. This is so lovely, guys. It's so lovely to have you all here. So I think we've got nearly 70 of us now, so I reckon we'll crack on. So basically, yeah, thanks so much for taking some time out of your Sunday to come and hang out with me. And I'm really excited to show you, just teach you some things that I've learned. Again, this is all about red carpet skin in real time. So I hope you guys have got a cup of tea ready. Go have something nice nearby so you can chill out and relax together. And I'm going to try and attempt now some more techie things. See, I've got a few messages coming through. I'm going to try and do the more techie side now, opening up some slides. So we have kind of like, I can explain what I mean while I'm doing it. So you guys can tell me now if you can see my slides. So let me know, guys, if that's come up okay. How's it coming? So let me know, guys, if you can hear me still and that's coming through. So let me know, guys. Just send me a little message, someone, so I know you can hear me okay. Slides are fine, yeah, and you can all hear me okay? Yay, okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Hopefully you can see the slides on the screen. So like I said, guys, this is really just a nice way to have a little bit of an in-depth sort of lesson slash talk, beauty talk. And I just wanted to share some tips with you guys about red carpet skin in real time. What's that? Slides not up. Oh, everyone's saying they're up. Yeah, people can see it. My boyfriend was saying he couldn't see the slides, but if you guys see they're up, love the blush you're wearing. Thank you, guys. And you can see the slides, yeah? Just let me know you can see the slides before I go any further. Can see it. Yeah, people are saying they can see it, I think. Just let me know, guys, you can see the slides. Is it coming up? It should say red carpet skin in real time. Back to just seeing you. Okay, hold on a sec, guys. I'm going to make sure I've got this right. Okay. This one? Yeah. Screen share. That one? Yeah. Okay. Is that working now? Can't see them right now. Back to just seeing you. Okay, can you see them now? Yeah. If I make it full screen, Dave, can you see it? You see it? Slide on the screen. Wait, okay, we're back. So that is with the, yeah, you can see them, okay. You guys are so lovely and patient. Thank you so much. Like I said, this is my first webinar, but once I get it all going, these will be very quick and easy. Cool, okay. So give me, back off again? Yeah, just don't make it full screen. Oh, okay. Just go back to. Keeping it like that? Yeah. Has it gone again?
It makes it full screen anyway, so just click on that.
On this?
Yeah. And then click on
what, this? Okay, sorry guys for this techie bit. I've just got to make sure I don't. So you could see it full screen. Okay, I've got my boyfriend helping me, so I'm gonna get on with it, and hopefully, oh Steph, you're so sweet. I'm glad you're enjoying this. If anything, you can all enjoy watching my hilarious attempt at techie things. Lily Pebbles will be very proud of me right now. So yeah, so red carpet skin in real time, and I'm just gonna start going through the slides with you. So great boyfriend, very tech advanced. He's doing very well. So basically today I want to say you're in the right place if you kind of see those pictures of red carpet skin and you think, yeah, that's all great and well, but generally, how do I do that in real time? We're all real women with busy lives and you want to know how to do those things quickly. So you want to learn to create effortless looking red carpet worthy skin, but in a very short time scale. So, we're talking kind of minutes really. And I think the number one thing that most people I meet want is glowing skin. It's that even if you have oily skin, there's ways of making the glow work for you. So that was from a video I did a little while ago, which was get the Beyonce glow. And also, if you stay till the end as well, there's going to be a little special bonus. So make sure you stay till the end, and there's a little bonus as well. Oh, I feel like I've got to breathe. So what we're going to learn today, so I want to just take you through what we're kind of going to look at. So basically how to get my red carpet skin in real time, and I've kind of created an easy 3-step system. Now this is what I use on my clients, on my people I work with, so models, actresses, and this is the tools that make it easy, the products in my pro kits, and the steps I use to achieve it. So we're going to learn how to get the glow as well. So like I said before, going to look at the tips and tricks to glow without looking greasy, even if you have oily skin. I think that's definitely like one of the main concerns people say to me is that, you know, I've got oily skin, but I still want to look glowing and I'm not sure how to go about it. Or they're worried makeup's going to kind of slip off the face and not last. So again, as well, making that glow last. So you're glowing all day long without looking greasy. Woohoo! Hey, Lou. And also, you know, the everyday changes you can make to glow from within. I think that's a big part of beauty as well. So I also want to show you guys the 3 most common mistakes. I think this is quite an important part, especially when it comes to applying foundation, what they are, what I've kind of seen people do as well, and how to prevent them. Okay. And of course, I wanted to share with you guys during this my desert island products, so what they are and why I can't survive without them. And that's things that are personal favorites and also in my pro kit. So they're things that I would just freak out if I didn't have. I have backup supplies of these. That's how important they are. And we're going to do a live Q&A later. So that's why I love this Chatango box. You guys can, you know, keep me updated with how I'm doing as we go along. And also at the end, like I said, you know, we can have a chat and you can ask me questions, which is really nice. It's real time. So the first question I want to ask you guys, because I want you guys to interact with me as well, is what's the most stressful part of putting on your base makeup? So type in the box below what you find the most stressful part of putting on your base makeup. I'm looking forward to seeing what different answers we get. Anyone coming through yet? So it might be timing, it might be that you find, you know, we've got one, getting my skin prep right. Okay, that's Alicia. Yeah, so that's a good one. I think I still find my skin changes a lot as well. So let's see if we've got any more questions. We can just have a little look, make it look flawless and blended without making myself late. Yeah, I've been there. Definitely the time. Yeah. Fingers versus brush. Yeah, that's a really good point. Again, I think that's really personal preference. And yeah, someone's saying my skin is different every day. So I definitely think these are all things that we're going to kind of address throughout this talk. Powder versus liquid. Yeah, patchy when dehydrated. Dark circles, yeah, without caking. I think it's sort of the key thing really, isn't it, is getting makeup looking flawless, but without looking like you're wearing a shed load of makeup. And that's definitely my philosophy of makeup, is it should look real, it should look like you. So good coverage, yeah, doesn't look cakey, redness. So these are all problems we're going to kind of address today, and things that I definitely feel are, you know, things that I've seen within my clients. It's been issues they've had as well with their skin. Covering raised blemishes. So yeah, that's really good to know, guys. That's really helpful because, you know, I want to kind of answer those questions as we go through as well, and just look at what I can kind of recommend for those. So a little bit of lulz moments. I'm going to share with you my story. So I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I wasn't always good at makeup, okay? So honestly, I was a tomboy when I was a kid. A lot of people won't believe this, but I used to, I mean, that's probably the girliest I think I looked at about age 11, but I used to gel 2 pieces of my hair down. When I did discover makeup as well, it was really bad. I was wearing like proper like glitter blue eyeshadow that was crusty. It was really, really bad. And I think there was a market stall in my town where when I did get into makeup, like I said, I would just buy like everything that was orange and horrible. So, you know, I've not always been good at makeup is the point I want to get across today as well. You know, it's taken me time to learn it. It has become my passion and now it's my job, but I wasn't always good at this. So, you know, don't worry if any of you are watching this thinking, but oh God, I'm rubbish at makeup. I don't think I'll ever get it. You know, I promise you, I wasn't good either. Okay, so that's really important. So for me, the big thing that happened that really made me love makeup actually was it was my dad's 40th birthday. And I remember watching my mum's friend. She was doing I put my dad's makeup. That's totally a typo there. That would have been brilliant if that was true. What I meant to say was I watched my mum's friend doing my nan's makeup at my dad's wedding. It's all going wrong. At my dad's birthday. And I just watched and sat her have her makeup done and watching the way she reacted, watching the way that I think just the way it made her feel, I really loved watching that. And obviously at that point, I think I was about 12 and I didn't think that could be a job. You know, I was just really intrigued. I love seeing, by the way, as well, guys, what your first makeup items were. This is so fun. I really love this. And I feel like we've all been there, so it's fine. When what happens in the webinar stays in the webinar. But yeah, I definitely remembered watching my nan have her makeup applied, and it just looked so much fun. And I just wanted to do it, even though I didn't know how to do it. And then my mum got a book for Christmas called Face Forward by Kevin Aquan, which you might have heard, actually. I don't know if a lot of people obviously will know Kevin Aquan products, but Kevin Aquan was a huge makeup artist in the 80s and 90s. And I just found this book that my mum got for Christmas, and that was it. I was obsessed. I was like, this is a job, you can do this. And I then brought all his books, and my poor sister, bless her, that was it. She absolutely, you know, every Saturday, every time we weren't at school, I was practicing on her, being very mean and shouting at her when she wasn't keeping her head still. So it really was that thing of, you know, I wanted to just practice as much as I could, even though I didn't know what I was doing. I think at this point I was about 14. And then I moved to London when I was about 18. So you guys can see, it's such a good book. It really is such a good book. People are saying they've just brought it. So you can see a picture now on the screen that I did basically, when I first moved to London, I did go into kind of studying makeup properly, and I wanted to learn the skills. You know, I did a college course for 2 years. Then I went to London College of Fashion. I did a 3-year course. And the whole time I was just, again, practicing on friends. You can see my lovely friend Dan here. We literally, when they were going out for club nights out, I would do their makeup. So, you know, that was my practice to be creative. And it was really good fun. And I really found my love of makeup very, very quick. Can have a little look at your comments. I love seeing what you guys all brought as your first makeup thing. This is so cool. Had mascara that was made in a brick. Yeah, this is amazing. I even remember having that in my very first makeup kit, guys. So yeah, you know, I started being creative and I was learning lots, but you know, it was 5 years really in training before I even kind of properly started, you know, as my job. But base is my obsession. So it was the thing that I always came back to. So even when I was doing creative makeup, even when I was doing fashion makeup, I was always, you know, amazed by the base and the idea that if you get that right, everything else is really easy. And I think, you know, it's easier to learn those steps, but having the good base is so important. So I guess the moral of that story really is, if I can learn it, anyone can. And I really believe that, guys. You know, it took me a long time to get to where I am now, and I've enjoyed it, but I definitely wasn't naturally good at makeup when I first started as a makeup artist. Oh, I love listening to it's so nice hearing your comments, guys. Just checking, I'm going all right at an okay speed. So before I could do other people's makeup, like I said as well, I had to learn to do my own makeup. So that was kind of where I started really. And even now, like doing YouTube, it's really nice, you know, my kind of philosophy is I do work with a lot of young models. You know, I work with celebrities who are very pretty. And, you know, in my opinion, like, you know, if a 15-year-old with perfect skin is very easy to make makeup. So, you know, I think it's about applying real skills and real techniques to the everyday woman as well, and everyone feeling like they can use makeup to feel good. So my turning point really was, I think, seeing how I could help other women and men, you know, feel empowered through makeup. And I want to pass on the skills that I've been taught. You know, I feel very passionate about that. I did a little bit of teaching at London College of Fashion after I graduated, and that was an amazing experience, seeing other people, you know, be really excited about makeup and not just the transformative properties of it, but I think definitely, you know, the element of play as well and experimenting. So there's a little photo of me there on a shoot. And there's a couple of little behind the scenes photos that I've managed to grab off my Facebook, just various different shoots over the years that, you know, have been in different places, different countries. And, you know, the more my skills grew, the more my book grew, you know, the level of people I was working with grew. And it just, you know, I managed to carry on doing what I love, but just kept building on what I was doing. So we've got some covers here of some of my work. So Lovely Foxes, this was her for Fabulous magazine. I've got Tamsin Egerton for the cover of You magazine. Rita Ora I worked with. So again, just to give you an idea, if anyone who doesn't know my work as a makeup artist, I've worked with like Vogue Italia, I've worked with Tatler, I've worked with Nylon, and lots of different like editorials. For me, I really like a mix of glossy and the kind of independent fashion editorials as well. But again, it all comes back to creating a beautiful base and beautiful skin. You know, even if there's a texture on the skin, even if it's gritty, it has to have a feel of, it starts with the base for me. So that's where I always like to start with when I'm doing someone's makeup. So just some examples here as well. This was a shoot for Hunger magazine and a shoot for Ligature magazine. And again, hopefully you can see in this, there's a lot of emphasis on the base still. You know, I think beautiful skin is literally just what I love. That's what makes me happy. Okay. So, and then there's a shoot here I did for Vogue Italia. Again, hopefully you can see my emphasis on the skin. And we've got a classic Harry flick to the right. I really love this shoot. It was really fun to do. It was almost like the Gucci G on the eye. But again, you know, the skin's still very clean, so it makes sure that the liner can really show through. So the technique that I want you guys to really go away with today is something I like to call the 3 Ps, okay? So this is one of the parts of making it quicker when you're doing your makeup. So it's the part that I think you go away with that makes you realize that actually these 3 things are the main things I need to make sure that I can do my makeup fast and I can make it look amazing. So the first thing is prime, and the second thing is paint, and the third thing is perfect, yeah. So they're the 3 Ps, okay? So these are the steps. So prime, I think it's kind of like prep and prime really. So I always think, just like cooking, the trick to speedy real-time application is the prep the night before, okay? So if we're saying you guys have got, I mean, let me know guys in the chat how many minutes you like to take to do your base. It'd be really good to know. Thanks for all your lovely comments, by the way, guys. It's so lovely to read these. Let me know how long it takes you to do your base in the morning, because I think, like I said, if you can do a lot the night before, so whether that's a big event you have coming up, or you've just been feeling a bit down and lackluster with your skin and you really want to kind of see a difference the next day, like making a slow cooked casserole or something like that, your prep is so important, okay? So it is about, you know, whether that's treatments and, you know, getting things ready and just being a bit more organized. So same like if you're a stylist and you're getting ready for what to wear the next day, what you do the night before is a big part, and it's the first P, and it's definitely the thing that I think makes everything else quicker. So about 10 to 15 minutes to do your base, okay? So yeah, I'd say that's probably, I've got mine down to about 5 minutes now, but if I was doing, you know, my red carpet skin and I really wanted to take time, I'd say about 10 minutes I can get it down to if I'm going for like super perfect skin. So with your prep, obviously the first thing is masks. Again, I think depending on what kind of mask you're using, if it's like salicylic acid or something like that, you need to make sure that, you know, you're working with ingredients that work with your skin tone, aren't too aggressive. So if it's quite a strong product, for example, I absolutely love the Kate Somerville Exfoliate. That's amazing. But it's very strong on my skin. So I actually have to do that about 2 days before. So sometimes my prep might even start a little bit before an event or something. But generally, you know, there's a lot of leave on overnight masks. Again, if we're talking about red carpet ready, you know, in real time, do something like the Origins overnight intensive mask, you know, something you can leave on definitely will save you so much time, guys, because you go to bed, you don't have to worry about washing it off and sitting with it on for ages on front of the TV. It's on and you go to bed. So masks are a big favorite in my pro kits. I love the SK2. Yeah, people are saying exfoliating twice a week, try clean, tonify and moisturize with essential oils. Yeah, it's great. See, I mean, you guys sound like you've got some really good prep already sorted. So, you know, and I think if you are short on time, it's just working out which of those treatments are the ones that definitely save you the time or have the most impact. Some of you have mentioned exfoliating. Oh, I've got the wrong picture on there. I've just noticed I've not got a picture. Excuse my picture. I think it's the template what came with my keynote. So I do apologize for that. I thought I'd put pictures in. But yes, exfoliating is definitely something that I think for me makes the biggest difference. So I find, and again, I think exfoliating is different in different levels for different people. So for example, if you have super sensitive skin, you definitely want to avoid anything with grains in. You want to avoid anything that's very, very, again, aggressive on the skin, or, you know, going to kind of aggravate the skin, and perhaps use something like the salicylic acid in, or something like that, in exchange for something with grains in. So again, my personal favorites, you guys know I bang on all the time about the Skin Iceland exfoliating pads. I think they're amazing. I just love, again, for me, if it's real time, you know, real time red carpet skin, then for me, I can be so lazy with those. I can just get one pad out, pop it all over my face, avoid the eye area, and I'm good to go. You know, the next morning, the difference is incredible. And that's, you know, I think the important thing here as well is what works for one of us won't work for everyone. So, you know, it's about testing and finding what works. And this is another point of prep, really, is not leaving it till like the day you're doing an event and then trying something. So exfoliating, for me, I do it about twice a week. Again, I think this is personal preference. I wouldn't really recommend exfoliating every day. I think your skin needs a little bit of time to repair in between exfoliating. So, you know, that's something that I think it's a different kind of, there's not one size fits all really with how many times to exfoliate. However, I think it's finding what kind of level of graininess or acid you're working with is best. And I definitely think if you have sensitive skin and you're using some kind of treatment that you leave on and it exfoliates, just leave it on for less time than what it recommends, okay? That's definitely one of the best things. So treatments, you guys probably know I'm a huge fan of oils and serums. These, again, are really nice to do the night before a big event, even if it's like, you know, a serum or an oil that you maybe use once a week or twice a week. Vitamin C capsules are amazing. They're really good. Estee Lauder does an amazing, I can't remember what exactly it is that's in them, but they do a set of like capsules, which very highly concentrated. And these are great to use, especially if you're doing, you know, a night before event or something like that. People are saying Lizzo cleanse and polish. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. That's very nice and gentle. And facials, you know, I think when it comes to treatments, again, if I had a big event, I wouldn't advise my celebrity clients to do a facial the day before. I actually say at least 3 days before, personally. And even with my skin, I find it's one of those things that actually looks better a few days after anyway. The first day after, sometimes that's when, I know it sounds disgusting, but the bad stuff in my skin actually comes out. So, you know, I tend to get a breakout after a facial and then it calms down and looks amazing. So someone's saying, is exfoliating good if you have breakouts? Again, that's where I would definitely go for something a bit softer, a bit more sensitive. So avoid anything with really heavy grains. And I would start less and see how your skin takes to it, and then build up a little bit more if it's okay. So if your skin doesn't react, I would say try once a week, especially if you do have breakouts as well. You want to remove the sebum around the breakout, or if there's any bacteria or if there's anything that's getting infected around the spots. Just make sure that you're using, like I said, start with less, see how your skin reacts, and then if it does respond well, I would even try going up to 2 times a week, and it might even improve the breakouts. So that's kind of what I'd recommend. But yeah, facials, I love Dermalogica facials. They do prescription facials that I think are quite affordable. You know, some facials do kind of go in excess of £100 upwards, so they're not realistic for everyone. And obviously you've got to make time to do them. So it could even be doing your own facial at home with something like a sheet mask. You know, they're really good for, you know, a feeling of kind of spa type treatment in real time. So where are we up to? So the next P is paint. So obviously one of the important parts of red carpet makeup in real time is actually painting your face. So for me, you know, this is obviously your foundation, your primer, you know, putting the things on that are actually evening out the skin tone and making the skin look more unified. So it's finding the right shade, that's a big part of it. So get the tone and texture right, you know, looking to find your right undertone. A really good tip is to find your perfect undertone is actually looking at your wrist. So if you guys all get your wrist for me now, so it's going to sound a bit random, but just squeeze your fist in and out a little bit. And then you should be able to see the veins on the inside of your wrist come up a little bit stronger. So generally speaking, if you have a blue undertone, so like a blue in your vein, that generally means you have a more cool undertone. And if you have a more green vein, then you generally have a warmer undertone. And if you have a little bit of both, you're generally neutral. So again, it's kind of thinking about as well, getting the tone right first will definitely help you when you're looking to buy foundations. So for example, a lot of foundations will say, they have, I mean, for example, L'Oreal is a good example. Oh, excuse me. L'Oreal's a really good example of one that, is quite an affordable foundation, the True Match, and they actually use their system as initials with a number. So it will say like 1W, 1 warm, or 1N, 1 neutral, 1C, cool, or NC, neutral cool. So a lot of foundations now and brands have kind of really typed into the fact that people want to know their tone and actually get it right. So definitely, if you understand your undertone, I mean, let me know in the comments if anyone's actually done the fist pumping and can tell what their skin tone, their undertone is. And the next thing is the texture. So I think this has a lot to do with what kind of skin type you are. So, it's finding something that it makes your skin look how you want it to look, but it's also respecting the kind of skin type you are. So for example, if you have severely oily skin, you're probably not going to look for a very, very oily, very, very dewy foundation. So it's things like that to keep in mind. But on the same token, if you have super dry skin, you're probably not going to want a super matting foundation. So think about the texture that's going to work for you. Oh, this is great. Okay, I can see people saying blue veins, cool undertone. So these are definitely going to help you when you're trying to find the right foundation. But yeah, think about the texture, think about what works with your skin and what you're trying to achieve. So if it is the glow, things like anti-aging foundations are amazing. They're often lean to a more dewy finish. If you're looking for kind of a tinted moisturizer or a balm, unless it says, oil-free, you're generally going to be getting a slightly more kind of glowy look to your foundation. Okay, neutrals is good, but blueberry milk and skin tone right now. I love that, Martina. That's definitely how I describe myself a lot of the time. So yeah, that's definitely one thing to learn. So color match, like we said, I think once you've got your tone, I feel like it's actually easiest once you kind of know your undertone, because you can put a couple of foundations together in a shop. If there's 10 foundations, you'll know straight away that there's probably it's going to be out of 3 that are going to suit you. So I feel like you can sort of select 3 and be like, okay, it's most likely going to be one of those 3. And then you can try those on your jaw and then find, you'll notice which one kind of blends in. And I always say to people, look at all the skin that's on show, don't just look at your neck or your forehead. You want to get an even blend throughout, and also that's going to be a little bit personal preference. I have some clients that do like to go one shade warmer, so if that's you and you like to look a little bit more tanned, that's fine, you can do that. Just remember your ears, remember your neck, just think about the skin that's on show and how realistic it's looking. So, and with the right tools, for me, again, I think this is so about personal preference. It really is. I mean, I am a huge lover of brushes. My brushes I've been collecting since I was like 14, and, they're still going really well, and I look after them really well. You want to wash your brushes so they're clean when you're doing your makeup, so you're not spreading bacteria, and obviously you're using them on yourself most probably. And make sure, for me, I really like Fairy Liquid Antibacterial because it kills the germs. Or the Dr. Bronner soap is very good if you have real hair brushes and you really want to protect them. So yeah, the right tools for me, I think for affordable tools, I've got to say I'm a huge fan of Real Techniques and Zoeva. I think they do amazing price point brushes. Sigma, I find kind of the middle range. They're really good for, really extensive range of tools. They definitely have like kits that are made up that are sort of, they have one, I think it's called the Spot Kit or something like that, the blemish kit, and it literally has like a different shape brush for every kind of spot or work you're trying to do with acne or blemishes. But also, you guys know now that I'm a big fan of the Beauty Blender and the Miracle Sponge. I don't know how that happened, but I really wasn't expecting to fall in love as much as I have with a sponge. Definitely use damp. That's a big thing I find important. And for more kind of high-end price point of the brushes, I love Shu Uemura. I love It Cosmetics. I definitely love Bobbi Brown. There are so many different brands. And I think what you have to decide is, are you more of a brush person or a sponge person? A mix of the two. And when it comes to brushes, I like something that buffs the product in. So that for me is a big part of kind of making it a bit faster as well. I think anything that's too small, can become quite tricky in terms of getting things done quickly. My blender was a Harry Nable purchase. Yay! Yeah, I definitely feel like I was really shocked about the beauty blender, but I am so totally like, yeah, converted. I just wish it wasn't expensive as it was. I feel like the Miracle complexion sponge is definitely more affordable. So if anyone's looking for like kind of entry level into sponges, try the Miracle complexion one first because it's definitely cheaper. So yeah, I think the right tools, you know, even little things like I have some people that are like, oh, I only like Bobbi Brown brushes because they have long handles. So you might even find little things like that actually definitely make a difference as well. But yeah, I do think it's finding what works for you, you know, and again, another part of saving time for red carpet skin, you know, something like the Louise Young, I think it's called the LY34 brush. I mean, Vivian Does Makeup always says this to me, it's the fastest applying foundation brush. So that's an amazing one. If you really feel like, okay, I've got 2 minutes to do my base and I need to be very quickly flawless, that is a brush I use in my kit when I have hardly any time. And then I'll very quickly go with the Beauty Blender. So that makes foundation application super speedy. And, you know, bringing a little bit of color into the skin, I've got to say, guys, I do love a bit of a cream blush. I feel like you can very quickly take that one cream blush and you can make that into, you know, you can even make it into a bit of an eyeshadow, an eye gel. You can use it on your lips, your cheeks. If it's got a little bit of sheen in, it becomes a highlighter at the same time. It's such a good multi-purpose product. And for me, especially if it is, you know, red carpet makeup in a flash, it can be perfect, amazing skin. Spend that little bit of time on your skin, your prep before, the night before, and then, you know, a lovely, beautiful, creamy sheen blush and just some mascara and lip gloss, and you can look amazing. You know, that can literally be your very quick day look, but you can feel incredible with, you know, literally like 4 or 5 products. So cream blush, just adding color in general. I think once you've got your base, you know, really smooth and you've made your skin look, you know, flawless, adding a little bit of cream blush, it really is one of the techniques that I'm always like, wow, the skin's alive, the person looks like they've had 10 hours sleep, and it just looks healthy straight away. So I'm a huge lover of just adding a little hint of color. You know, you can use the same one on your lips as well. And the last P is perfect. So I think my kind of biggest point that I try to say to my clients, you know, is check it in all lights. You know, I actually prefer to do makeup in natural light if I can. So, you know, often when I'm on shoots, I'm given mirrors where there's like a mirror with the lights around it, what you guys will have seen in my Instagram and stuff. I don't mind these, but I find that light can often be very golden or warm. So it actually can make the skin look more yellow than it might be. Especially with pale skins, it can be quite misleading. So I actually always, if I can, I always try and do makeup in natural lights. I think that's still the best light because if it looks good in natural light, the chances are it's going to look good everywhere. So, and also, you know, this is my point with perfecting, is about making it last. So I think if we're saying, a few of you guys were saying earlier, how do I make my makeup last? How do I stop it going patchy? And I think what you want to do, the first thing I'd recommend is you want to make almost like a capsule makeup bag. So like a very small, I mean, literally as small as your hand, like something that fits the bare minimum in. So a small kind of palette that has maybe your concealer, your foundation, and a little powder. Bobbi Brown do amazing ones that actually are for all their skin tones. And it has like the powder in, and it's a very thin little palette, and it is smaller than my hand. Have something like that in, maybe a little blotting sponge, some cotton pads, maybe some cotton buds, things like that. And you just want to make a little kind of what I like to call kind of capsule makeup bag. Okay, this is for your handbag, so that if you do have to do touch-ups, everything's there, so it's quick, it's all in one place, and it's very easy to assess, and you know what your colors are, you're not having to like custom blend anything. So that's definitely a good one to do. And then I think a lot of it is to do with, again, kind of what's on your brushes. So, you know, you want to make sure you've got clean brushes when you're applying powder, so you're not putting excess pigment and it's not going cakey and then flaking off later. And perfect, I think, comes a lot with the prep stage as well, the prime stage. So if you've prepped and primed well, you know, for example, if you've exfoliated, you're much less likely to have dead skin cells sitting on the surface of the skin. Likewise, if you know, when you're using a setting spray or something, it's just going to fall really beautifully over the skin, because if you've primed as well, lots of thin layers will always work better than one heavy layer kind of masking the skin. And like we said, we want it to look like, you know, real skin as well. You know, we want it to be red carpet, but real looking, beautiful skin. And blend. That's probably my biggest tip. I feel like, you know, we I think the temptation, especially when people are trying to make it last all day, is to just put more and more on. But actually, thin layers that are really well blended will just become a part of the skin. And, you can obviously use a primer beforehand, and something like, as well as your powder, you can use a fixer spray afterwards. If you find your makeup comes off very quickly, definitely try using both, because I always find that lasts a lot better. So, okay, I'm going to have a little look at what people are saying. Let's have a few little things, what's people saying. I have redness, what blush tone should I go for? I think with redness, it's funny actually, I don't feel like with redness you have to ignore, yes, if you haven't covered your skin, putting a red blusher on is going to, attract more attention to the red. I do think though it's about how well you cover it to start with. If you've started, if you've started kind of with the base really clean and really clear and you've concealed well, that for me is, you can pretty much get away with any blusher, and just use it very gently and make sure you've set underneath with a powder before you add your blusher, so it's not going to start removing any makeup. Stiller blushes are great. Yep, I love those. And I think it's better for something to be very pigmented than than too sheer, because you can make it sheery. You've got that option. Any tips if you use powder foundation? Yeah, with powder foundation, getting my all tongue twisted, I definitely think with powder foundation, you want to make sure that you're using, again, a very clean brush, because what you find with powder foundation, because they're all about the brush and how you're applying it, if you're not using something like a powder puff, which I wouldn't use anyway, I found powder puffs always apply it too unevenly. Go with a brush and just make sure it's really clean, because if you've got pigment and pigment and pigment on top of each other with a brush, generally what's happening is the sebum from your skin as well. Everyone has, a level of sebum in their skin, which is natural oil. It is sticking to that brush, and even the brush is cakey before you've even dipped it into the product. So that's a really good thing to make sure you're doing first, is just, make sure your brush is super clean. The tools you're working with are really clean. And again, I still think less is more. So start with a little amount and concentrate the coverage on where you want it. So with something like a powder foundation, just think about where you need it and start very sheer in the areas that don't need much coverage, and then build up throughout. So let's have a look. With the setting sprays, some of them do contain alcohol, some don't. So definitely just check the ingredients. I think that's an important one. So let's talk about how to get the glow. I think that's a very important one, and I think it's something I do get asked a lot. So for me, the first thing is you want to know your skin type. So like I said earlier, if you've got very, very oily skin, it's probably going to change the product you're going to use as opposed to if you have quite dry skin. So for me, I really think, there's so many different kind of textures on the market now to create the glow. But, it's generally cream or liquid, cream, liquid or powder, they're kind of the formulas that I generally work with the most. And I think that makes a big decision on where you start. So this is cool. It's lovely. You guys are all talking to each other as well, which I love. And also decide on what strength of highlight you want. I think with like Instagram now, we see a lot of kind of really full-on highlights, and if that's something you want to achieve, then one tip you can do is dampening your brush with something like a fixer spray is actually going to make the kind of intensity of the highlight really ping and really powerful. So if you want it stronger, just kind of like dampening your brush will actually make it a lot stronger. So the key elements of glowing skin for me really are even skin tone. So again, getting that base, amazing. And also remember, highlighting attracts attention. I think a lot of people forget that highlighting by the very essence of what it does, it highlights. So yeah, and it has become a thing, and I think that's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of Instagrammers that do go full on with it, and everyone should wear makeup the way they want to make it. But I do think, it's, for me, I love it to look like it's part of the skin and someone's just glowing from within. So, I think a big part of the glow as well is about coming from within. And it might sound silly, but I think confidence is a big part of it. What you eat. So, make sure you're having lots of fruit and vegetables high in antioxidants. So you are, actually got a good diet. Things like avocados are my #1 skin savior. I eat avocados like there's no tomorrow. I probably eat too many of them, but I love them. So, things like that definitely going to make a difference. And I think, as well, go for a run, get some fresh air inside you is a really good way literally to get a glow in your skin. And coming back to the powder and highlight thing as well, powder versus highlight. Obviously, everyone can wear both. But if you do have really oily skin and you really want to kind of, do that nod towards the kind of glowing trend and wear glowing skin, I think that's where a powder highlight will work really well for you if you have oily skin, because you've got a little bit more control and it doesn't, it doesn't look wet on the skin the same way a liquid one does. And vice versa, if you find you have skin that's so dry that it literally, anything that's powder just kind of draws more attention to, then try even mixing a little bit of the highlighter into your moisturizer first, just so it's helping. I mean, things like Strobe Cream by MAC has vitamin A in, which helps plump the skin, and that's amazing just to get a little bit of instant hydration in as well. And then you can just build up with a liquid or cream highlighter where you need it. And like I said, you can wet your brush for an intense highlight. So there's some of the products that I love to use in my kit. I am a huge lover, as you guys know, of Becca. Again, when I was saying about this kind of capsule makeup bag, something like the Burberry one is really good actually, because it's really small. It's not going to take up loads of room. Powder highlights, I love the Balm Mary Lou, but there's also, Rimmel, Topshop do great affordable options as well of really nice highlighters. This was from a shoot I did actually in Portugal a little while back. And this is like a nice example of what, for me, this is the kind of glow I like to create. So I feel like, if you guys are asking me my advice on how I like a glow to look, it's definitely, lost a couple of minutes, can hear your advice, how to find the undertone. I'll come back to the undertone in a bit, don't worry. But yeah, I think this picture that should be on your screen now of the girl with the gold hoop earrings is definitely how I like a skin to glow. I like it to feel real. I like it to look like the light is just hitting the face naturally. And like the person just looks super healthy. So there's another picture here of a gorgeous girl called Francine, and she had amazing bone structure. So even just using a little bit of highlight here and there, and a bit of lip gloss was kind of all she needed to literally kind of get that glow. And that was, both those pictures were done with liquid products, Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. But it was very easy. I just started with small amounts and then build up slowly. And generally with cream and liquid highlighters, I like to start with my my brush, and then I pat it in with my fingers. So that's generally how I do that. And again, even like I said, I just love that feeling of like very gentle, even if someone has more oily skin, you can still be very subtle with your highlight. It doesn't have to be really super intense. So the tricks that save me time as well, in terms of, again, coming back to this idea of red carpet ready in real time, is really getting your stuff set the night before. So have your capsule little makeup bag with you for the daytime, for your touch-ups. Do your mask, your treatments, all your prep the night before. Make sure your brushes are clean. I know this sounds like I'm going on about this, but I mean, even my mum, I love her dearly, but I went to her house and she hadn't washed her brushes like 20 years. And I was like, right, this is the first thing we're doing, is cleaning your brushes, because they were all frayed. They couldn't really pick up any product anymore. And when they did pick up product, it was very patchy. The other key thing for me is multi-purpose products. That is definitely like a big yes, because multi-purpose products, obviously, not just your capsule makeup bag, makes such a huge difference. Like literally when you're in a rush, like I said, that idea of the cream blush that can become your lip balm, your lip tint, your highlighter, your blusher. It just does so many things that are going to make you have red carpet skin in real time. Like it really will just take the minutes off the clock. And knowing your skin, I think that's a big part of taking away today, is knowing what, now I'm 29 now, and it's taken me quite a few years to figure out exactly what suits my skin. And like some of you guys were saying, skin does change. So have a little wardrobe made up for your skin that, you can dip in and out of the products, work. So let's go through 3 common foundation mistakes. So you guys might have already guessed some of them now, between me going through the slides. In fact, let me know what you think they are. Let's see if anyone can guess what the most common ones are. And I've done this from research as well, so I've asked a lot of people. So let me see if you guys know what the 3 common foundation mistakes are. Let's see what everyone says. Check my page is refreshing. Wrong color, okay. See if anyone's saying that red should have the 2, why not? Wrong shade, too much foundation. Okay. color blending. Well, let's see if you're right, guys. So the first one is actually applying it in the wrong light. So that is the first one that is the most common mistake. So I don't think it necessarily has to be daylight, but somewhere where there is good enough light is the most common mistake. So, and it's happened to me before. I've done my makeup in a dark room, walked outside, and I've either had a little bit too much bronzer on, or I've had, my foundation, perhaps I couldn't see where to blend it enough. So, even if you can get a mirror that has a bit of light around it, that's great. But where you can, sit in front of your window and, make sure you've got some good lighting. That really is, you wouldn't believe how common that is, that people use the wrong light. So a lot of you guessed this one, it's not blending properly. Make sure, obviously you want to make sure things are blended into your ears, into your neck, but also things like your hairline. A big giveaway with like foundation is when it kind of stops, either just before the hairline, or it kind of hasn't been blended enough and it's actually gone into the hair and it's kind of sitting in the hair, which is going to make your hair greasy as well. So make sure you're blending absolutely everywhere. And my biggest tip for this is, if you feel like you need to blend after you've blended still, is get another clean brush. Going back in with one more clean brush makes such a difference. Third common mistake, you probably guessed this one, is applying foundation with dirty brushes. So I know I've gone on so much about brushes, but as soon as your brush has a lot of product in, I know obviously I wash mine every time they've been used on a person because I have to for my kit and I want to. Whereas with an everyday person, maybe you wash them once a week, but you'll notice by the end of the week, when you get into the habit of washing them regularly, once there's too much product in it, either the brush starts to take product off the skin, or it just won't apply the product properly because there's too much oil and grease already in the brush. So having clean brushes makes such a difference. So let's talk about my desert island must-have. So I thought, with YouTube it's hard because I can't always, I can share the products I love, and I'm honest about everything I share with you guys, but there really are 5 products that I couldn't live without, and these are definitely for me and my pro kits. So the first one is Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. This is literally, since I was like 14, I've used this, guys, no joke. Like, I love this on eyelids. I love this as glow for like cheekbones. I use this every night before I go to bed on my lips. I use them for planes. They're amazing. Absolutely love this. The Beauty Blender. Hands up if you love the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender for me is a newer discovery, and it's definitely made it into my top 5. So yeah, it definitely does. And I think people are very unsure of how to wash this, but again, I found for me, antibacterial fairy liquid, as long as you kind of put some into your hand and then wash the sponge all over, you can get it perfectly clean. That's definitely, I love that you need to give the island where all these are available, if only. But yeah, so it definitely is one of those things that for blending it, and it has to be used damp. That's what I will say. If you don't use it damp, you won't get what I'm saying, but use it damp, and I think this can be life-changing. The Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge is awesome, and I do love that. But I do find weirdly the Beauty Blender is ever so slightly softer when it's damp. So that's my only thing. I feel like if I had to pick one, it probably would be the Beauty Blender. However, the Real Techniques one is still brilliant, and it is a little bit more affordable. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I feel like some of these you guys are probably guessing as I'm going along, but if I had to pick one foundation that I was like, okay, that's all I can ever use for a carpet, it probably would be this one. There's no SPF, so again, if you want to cover things quickly, it's great. The texture is buildable. You have that kind of silky, luminous glow, but without being too intense. So I use this on oily skin, I use it on dry skin. It really is my go-to. The shade range is pretty good. I wish it came in a squeezy tube. That would make me very happy if they did do that. Oh, someone's saying that Superdrug have brought out a great dupe for the Beauty Blender, so I'm going to check that out. Hopefully that's a good one. But yeah, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, I just love it. I've used it in my kit since I've been a makeup artist, and I love it. I literally couldn't live without it. And even if I had to have just one, you could easily shear this down with your moisturizer to make it more of like a sheer base. So you get the options. And then also NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I feel like I've gone through so many concealers in my time, and there's loads that I love. But again, with the shade range, I mean, the Urban Decay one was very close second, but this to me has that slight bit more coverage, like it's ever so slightly more oomph. So I love this. I love the doe foot applicator. It definitely does get a little bit thicker towards the end of its life. So, you know, you'll know when it's time to get a new one, even if you haven't run out. But again, the shades are beautiful. The texture's lovely. With the Beauty Blender, use damp. You can really shear this down. If you find that this is one of those concealers that you've tried and people keep telling you that they found it really cakey, definitely try it with the damp Beauty Blender. So yeah, a lot of people saying they find it quite dry, and I do think this is where you really need something like the damp Beauty Blender to work with it if you find that. Or you can even put a little bit of moisturizer into the Beauty Blender as well, just to kind of give it a little bit more slip if you have drier skin. That's a really good tip. Someone said SPF. Yeah, I definitely should have said that. I'm including the SPF in my prep bit. And last but not least of my desert island favorites would have to be Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in all its forms. I mean, I remember when it was just the liquid was available, and then they brought out the powder, then they brought out the Jaclyn Hill, then they brought out the compact cream. I love all of them. I always go back to the liquid. My one criticism is the bottle of the liquid always smashes in my kit, so they definitely need to make a stronger bottle. However, I just pump it now into like a little kind of plastic pot and use it that way. But I feel like to this date, I have lots of highlighters I love, but I've never found one as amazing as Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. Just saying. So I feel like that for me is, if you want the glow, if you want red carpet skin, this is the product that makes a difference. A bit disco ball warning, someone's asking. I find with the Becca, the only one I found really, really intense actually is the Jaclyn Hill one. So I love that one, and I like that more on medium to warm skin tones. But I do find, you're right, that one is quite full on. But I find, especially if you want to have the kind of sheen without it being too full on, go for the liquid, the original one, or the cream, because the powders are slightly more intense. People are asking which shade I prefer. On me personally, I do like Moonstone the best and Opal. But the thing is, you can get a highlighter color for every skin tone. You know, Topaz is beautiful on darker skin tones. Opal is lovely on, you know, medium, olive skin tones. You really can get like the perfect tone for everyone. So yeah, it's definitely a good one. So just to recap the 3 Ps, this is definitely what I want you guys to take away today, is prime, paint, and perfect. That is your kind of quick fire ways of getting your red carpet skin in real time, is in those steps. And just think about that when you're getting ready. You know, all the things you need in one place, ready to go. You've got your capsule makeup bag ready for your handbag that's super small and just what you need, and you're good to go. So this is my technique, really. You know, these are the exact principles I use for making up red carpet clients and models. And it's also how I do my own makeup. So, you know, I like to apply the same principles for me as I do other people's makeup. That's just my style. And, you know, that's what I love to do. So I'm not sure why you guys came here today. Hopefully, you know, we've had a nice little hangout, and hopefully you guys have learned, you know, some really good tips and tricks. And I think, you know, again, it's just to reiterate, you've come to the right place if you want to, you know, learn how to improve your makeup skills, save time, save money, you know, kind of just become a bit more savvy about makeup. And I think a lot of people don't have the time to sit and do their makeup for 45 minutes every day. They just don't, and I know I don't. So hopefully, you know, there's just things that can speed things up for you here. So, you know, these are the steps you can use now as well. You know, I think the reason I kind of went through what I learned earlier is because I've had to go to, you know, 2 years of, you know, a college, 3 years at, you know, a university in London. So 5 years even just training to be a makeup artist. And that was before I even started assisting, you know, and I want to share these tips with you guys now so you can use these now. And I think, you know, the question I want to ask you is, how can you make this work for you? You know, that's the realistic question for me to ask next. So you've got 2 options. So these are the options. So, you know, obviously to carry on learning, you know, I love that you guys get so much from my YouTube channel, and I really appreciate your support, and you guys are just the best. You know, and I think the thing is now, you know, you can carry on your own, you're spending hours reading the internet, take expensive courses, or you can get a step-by-step program that's going to guide you every step of the way. And it's going to make things super easy. So this is where I want to introduce you guys to all about that base. So you guys will have heard me talking about this quite a lot maybe over the past few weeks. Anyone that fancies follows me on my social media, you will have seen me talking about this. But today is a good way, for the people that are interested, to give you some, extra bonuses and just, guide you through. This is almost like a little insider as to the course. And I want to ask you guys, are you ready to become the master of your own makeup? That's the thing, is I feel like everyone has the ability to become their own makeup artist. So I'm going to show you the course modules. So this is basically what the course actually includes. So there's 4 modules, and the whole point is that you can kind of do this course in 30 days. Today was literally just a snippet of what's in the course, but the course is text-based with videos. So you've got over 14 new videos, and you're literally going to have such an in-depth lesson. It's like a module each week, but you have it all in one go. So you can learn it all in one go. You can work at your own pace. And the first module is really going to go in depth into skincare. So how to choose the skincare that's right for you. What treatments do I need? We're going to look at primers, like the importance of primer. The second module is going to be all about understanding foundations and finding your perfect match. So that's choosing the right foundation. Again, looking really in depth at type and texture. Finding your perfect shade and all the application techniques and the tools to achieve it. So, in-depth videos, the techniques, and it's really, really specific. It's not having to kind of make it a really quick overview. I can really go into depth. And module 3 is concealing like a pro. So, I wanted to really be able to show you guys how to conceal dark under eye circles, covering redness, acne and breakouts, things that I have to do on the red carpet every day. And I can show you guys exactly how I do that. And then module 4 is adding shape and color to the face. So we've touched a little bit on it today, but this is so much more in depth. So contouring, highlighting, what strobing is, what all the kind of lingo is that people use in the beauty industry, how to add color to the face. Again, we talked about undertone a little bit earlier, how to find the right blush shades for you, what's going to complement your skin tone, how to apply it in the right shape for your face shape, and the finishing touches, again, to make your makeup last. So depending on what your skin type is, things like that. So limited time bonuses, which are going to be fast action bonuses for anyone who, from the moment the Q&A starts, I'm going to put a clock on for 15 minutes. And basically anyone who signs up in the 15 minutes from when the Q&A starts, there'll be, if you go to the page that I tweeted on my Twitter, which should have this same webinar live, there's also like the buy it now buttons and all that are on that page. So you will also get a copy of this webinar, which is actually exclusive. So this webinar will be taken down once it's played effectively. So it'll only be up for like 24 hours and then it comes down. So you'll get sent a copy of this webinar. You also get the Skype consultation with me. And then you're also going to get sent the red carpet and real-time checklist PDF and video, which is a separate video of techniques in full HD, which will be exclusive to this webinar. So that's what you can get as your limited time bonuses if anyone's interested in signing up in the next, it'll be 15 minutes once the Q&A starts. So with the course as well, just to give you guys a bit more info, the course, you get the skills that might take you 2 years on a college course to learn for an affordable price. So keep in mind, like I said, I've paid to go to college for 2 years. I paid, my uni was very expensive. And why is it amazing? I mean, I think for me, it's the fact you can do it in your own time, and it's the fact you can do it, at your own pace as well. So you're going to learn the tips and tricks that have taken me pretty much 10 years to master in assisting and time at college in 30 days or less. So don't forget, with my course, you get access to the Sigma Pro discount as well. So you'll get that for the 20% off worldwide and online. And then for the UK and Ireland only, unfortunately, at the minute, you also get Urban Decay discount, 20% off in standalone stores. But the Sigma Pro discount card is available worldwide, and it's like a membership. So the Sigma one is even given to you on enrollment. So as soon as you've enrolled on the course, you get that Sigma discount, which you can use online. So my course cost £65. I put a lot of time into this, and I really wanted to make it something that I felt was giving you guys lots of value. My course at London College of Fashion, I mean, fees have gone up so much more now, uni fees, but when I did my course at London College of Fashion, it was about £1,500 a year. I think it's now something like £3,000 a year. And a private lesson with a makeup artist can cost in excess of £200. So again, you've got those fast action bonuses, which is going to include that Skype consultation as well. So once the course goes live and there's no more pre-order, the Skype consultation won't be available anymore either. And that's for up to 30 minutes. Anywhere in the world, obviously, we work out a time that works for both of us. So yeah, available to the end of this webinar Q&A. And, just think of all the value you're getting. That's what I want to reiterate today. Think about what it would cost you to do it another way. So if you were to go and sign up for maybe a 2-year makeup course or even a 6-month makeup course in London, costs a fortune these days, compared to this one-off payment of £65. So if you are on the page now, hopefully if you're on the page with the box with the chat and go, you'll see the pre-order button down below, and you click that and it will just take you through to the checkout, which is really simple. You can use PayPal and Stripe, and you just click the checkout and it's super easy. You'll be sent a welcome pack as well on purchasing the course. So let me know if anyone here has purchased, and if anyone also, it's important for me to say here, if anyone here has purchased the course before this webinar, you will also be sent the same bonuses as well, because I want to say thank you to anyone that's already purchased the course. So don't worry if you have, you will get the same bonuses if you've already purchased the course before this webinar. So yeah, questions you guys might have is, but Harry, is it worth it? I can watch all these videos on YouTube, I can, do all this stuff online and find it myself, but I see it as that your time is your money. So if you're having to take, on a weekend, you can't go out with friends because you're wanting to learn how to do your makeup properly, or you're having to go and do a course, that's time, and your time is money. So I think about it as saving, value and time, and you've got it all in one place, like a little beauty Bible. And for anyone asking, can you do this? Yes, you can. Think back to those pictures of me with gelled hair in front of my face and blue eyeshadow, and I promise you, if I can do it, then you guys can. Will it work for me? I definitely think, if you've got the tools ready and you're ready to learn, and again, you don't have to spend loads of money on high-end products. You can do this. A lot of the products mentioned in my course as well are both drugstore as well as high-end. So they're all products I recommend. And, it doesn't matter what your budget, you can find a way to make this work for you and just learn the skills that are really going to change the way you do your makeup forever. So again, just don't miss out on those fast action bonuses. They'll only be ready so we're going to start the live Q&A. So I'm going to go back to being on camera, which is going to be scary now. And let me know in the chat as well what else you want to know about the course, guys, if there's anything else you want to know. So let's just stop. So hopefully you can see me again. If anyone can see me. So questions you guys have about the course? What have I pressed now? Just signed up. Yay! I'm so happy. That's so good to hear, guys. It's been so much fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing it. I genuinely thought I was going to be petrified. Yeah, so the makeup consultation is over Skype, just to fit in with both our schedules, but it'll be up to 30 minutes. So we can obviously work it out on a date and time that works for you guys as well. So we do it that it works, around both our schedules. But yeah. So let me know if there's any other questions that you guys have, or questions generally, any other kind of Q&A about makeup. I'm going to set my timer on my phone now, because it will all go into like an email list of who brought in the 15 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer. Let me know if there's any interaction with, where is my timer? So I'm going to do, okay. So I've got 15 minutes on the clock, probably can't see on my phone. So those fast action bonuses, like I said, will only be available for those 15 minutes. So let me know, guys, if you have any other questions about the course or makeup in general. And yeah, let's just have a little Q&A. So, pardon me. Tips how to avoid foundation setting into pores on nose. Oh, sorry, I'm choking. I find that sometimes settle into the pores on the tip of my nose towards the afternoon, which enhances the pores. Not so good looking. Okay, so a trick with this, within that little capsule makeup bag you're going to make, I actually really like to keep a little bit of moisturizer. So like a little tiny, even if you get like a travel pot, put a little bit of moisturizer in. And what you want to do is throughout the day, when that starts to happen, is actually take a bit of the moisturizer and just rub it over the pores or around the nose, and then go back in with a little bit of concealer. So that's just going to kind of move things back into place without it building more product, because the moisturizer will make sure you're not just putting new product on top of old product. It will kind of blend things back in really well. And that's where you might want to have a little brush or a beauty blender just to knock it back in, and then reset it with powder again. Let's have a look. So find that set and pause. The trick with undertones. So I'll go over the undertones again for anyone who didn't hear. So basically, I can show you now on the screen. If you, excuse me, if you get your wrist and you want to squeeze, so to make the blood come to the surface, just do a few pumps of your hand, and then you'll see, so you should see your veins come up a little bit more. So if your veins are blue, you generally have a cool undertone. If your veins are green, you generally have a warm undertone. And if you have both, like I do, so here you'll see mine are kind of green and they're kind of blue here, you have a neutral undertone. So that's just a really good way to kind of make sure you're finding the right match when you start looking for your foundation. Tips on how to enhance hooded eyes. So for hooded eyes, I mean, I've got actually a video coming out soon in a couple of weeks. It's kind of like an almond shape eyes. So I think it depends on how hooded your eyes are, but the best tip is to do your makeup with your eyes open, looking straight ahead. If you do that, you're definitely going to be able to see what's going to be visible when you're doing your makeup, and go accordingly. So if you're doing liner, just make sure, obviously, if your eye is going over where it's hooded, then you're not maybe going to be able to do a flick that goes upwards. You might have to pull the eye out a little bit more, or it might just be that you do a thin line and it stops before where the hoodedness kind of comes over the eye. But definitely do your makeup with your eyes open, looking straight ahead. Let's have a look. I'm really interested to know which moisturizer you use on clients to prep the skin for makeup. Again, it depends on what their skin's like. I love Kate Somerville. I'm a huge lover of her products. What else do I use? The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream I like for very, very dry skin is good. Lizelle, I find the Lizelle ones are really great because they come in very thin tubes. And I think I have her for combination skin, for dry skin, for normal skin. You can really kind of diversify in what you're looking for. Let's have a look. Should I highlight the high points of my cheeks if I have visible discoloration there? As long as you cover it. So basically, who's that from? Orica, should I highlight the high points of my cheeks if I have visible discoloration there? First of all, it's personal preference. If you don't like a highlight there, you don't have to put one there. I think that's generally how I feel about makeup, is that you don't have to do anything you don't want to. But if you do, just make sure you've covered. As long as you've covered and set it, maybe try setting it with a loose powder and then do a powder highlight so it doesn't disturb anything that you've covered. Steph, I'm a makeup artist and I love watching your videos because it's always great to see how another MUA works. Would you recommend a course for a professional MUA as a brush up? Oh, thanks, Steph. Well, this one, again, it is kind of set even for people who are professional makeup artists. It kind of covers all the basics and more in depth. So obviously I'm going to recommend my own. But yeah, I find it's kind of got all the tips and tricks that you need in a fast amount of time. I mean, I know as a professional makeup artist, if you're already working as a makeup artist, you may find that you don't have time to go and do another long in-depth course. So I guess it depends how much time you have on your hands as well, and how much time you have how much time you have to actually do a course. So I'm just going to let you know how many minutes we have on the clock. So you've got 10 minutes 30 left for anyone who wants to get the fast action bonuses. So how to do the Harry flick. Well, that's definitely, again, there's quite a few videos of that already on my channel, but I'm definitely going to do more videos on that in more depth on different eye shapes. For me, I think it's I definitely do it different on myself to how I do it on other people. So on me, I always start with the flick first, and then I join up all the way to meet the flick, and I just follow from the bottom of my lash line upwards. You can use a bit of sticky tape to help you if you find that easier. That's a good trick. Let's see what else is here. I'm trying to learn the Harry flick, so difficult. Heard that the Tom Ford, so Martina says I'm trying to learn the Harry flick as well, but it's so difficult. Heard that the Tom Ford eyeliner is really good, but it's quite pricey. Is it worth it? Excuse me. This is definitely one that I was very curious to try, and I've got to say I'm not a massive lover of like pen felt tip liners. I've always been a gel liner girl and a brush. However, the Tom Ford one and the Estee Lauder little black liner, those two are game changers. They are really, really good. The Tom Ford one, I think the nib is quite long. So if you're new to eyeliner, that might be a bit intimidating. So maybe the Estee Lauder one's better. If you feel that you've kind of got your liner tips down, go with the Tom Ford one. But both are brilliant liners and very intensely black. Let's have a look. I love that. Sorry, my rabbit was being naughty. I might have missed you saying this. When does the course start date? So yeah, it's a good question. The course starts on the 3rd of April officially. So that's when it launches. So obviously the pre-order stage is like extra bonuses. You'll get a welcome pack which lists all the modules in depth. And obviously you have email support as well on the course. So if there's anything you can't access or isn't working, you can email and that's all sorted for you. And we'll get back to any questions. So there is email support, or if there's something that doesn't quite make sense or you're not sure about, you can email and there's full email support, so that's available as well. So yeah, 3rd of April is when the course date goes live, but the fast action bonuses are only available now. Okay, so let's have a look. Do you have any tips, foundation for glasses wearers? That's a really good question. I find that foundation always rubs off my nose because of my glasses. That's definitely a tricky one. I think, especially if you're wearing like a dewy foundation, that is probably just going to have to be something you're going to keep kind of touching up. Again, try the powder and the fixer spray. That may well help. I think it also depends on what the inner part of your glasses is, because I know it sounds silly, but when people have the little plastic pieces, they definitely sit quite tight on the nose. So if it's that, it might just be something that keep your kind of capsule makeup bag with you ready to touch up, but try the powder and the fixer spray as well. Martina signed up. Yay, really exciting. Connecting from Stockholm. I'm so excited for you guys to try this course. I really hope you like it. I put so much work in. Yeah, good question with the glasses. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to find that. I think it depends on what kind of glasses you've got. If you've got ones that just sit comfortably on the nose without the little plastic bits that dig in, I think you could get away with just the powder and the fixer spray. However, if you have the ones that dig in, you might have to do a little bit more work. Let's see. Can you recommend a very good cleansing mask that deeply cleanses pores? That's Anya. The Glam Glow Mud. I really love that. That's really, really good. I actually did a piece on highbrow.com, Monica Blunder's website, that was all about masks actually, which is up at the minute. That's just highbrow.com. And yeah, that one, the Glam Glow one, is a little bit pricey, but it does work. It really like draws, things out of the skin, and it very deeply cleanses pores. So I do really recommend the Glam Glow one. I think it's the one in the white package is the one that's good for pores. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What else is coming up? Let's see. So Lola asks, how can I counteract grayish under eyes? Yeah, so dark circles I think is I definitely suffer with that. Again, the light's going darker now outside because I'm in natural light, so I'm starting to look, if I keep my head up, I don't look as dark. That's definitely something that I think we go really in depth with in the course, and I definitely think it's about kind of incorporating things like an undertone serum or like an undertone concealer with your normal concealer if you have very, very excessive dark circles. Again, drinking loads of water, that actually makes a massive difference if you're hydrated. Things like that, things like Laura Mercier's Secret Brightening Powder, that's amazing. That really just lifts shadows under the eyes and it sets concealer very nicely without it caking, especially if you're layering different concealers. Can you recommend a very good cleansing mask that deeply cleanses pores? Oh, I think I've done that one already. Let's have a look. When doing a client's makeup, since you clearly can't do anything about the night before prep, what would you do? So that's Anon's asking, what products do you use to get the skin ready quickly? So like I said in my 5 kind of key products, Elizabeth Arden is great. I kind of put that on the lips from when I very first start, because I know that they'll be ready when I come to everything else. Things like the leave-on masks, if I've had something that's just come off a plane, I'll sometimes do a sheet mask because that's really good, as long as it's got nothing like salicylic acid in or anything that's too strong that's going to react. Something just hydrating, I'll usually use like a hydrating mask and then I'll just tissue it off, or I actually use toner to remove it. That's a really good tip. Yes, you will have access to the course material forever. So once you've signed up, it's yours. You have like a login link and you can go back and forward as many times as you like, whenever you like. And yeah, it's yours forever. So once you have it, you have access to it. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. And it's fully responsive on mobiles, laptops, iPads. It works on everything. So yeah, it's very easy to use. See if there's anything else I've missed. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know. Trying to see what else. What else? The Pixie one. Is it good to use water sprays, Vichy, etc., all over the face during hot summer days, foundation wise? Also, is your face, or if your face is exposed, I think that's meant to say. I've heard water drops could cause sunburn to your skin and they could reveal only with time. Excuse me. I think with water sprays, again, I think, you can get waterproof SPF. So as long as you've got something that's like waterproof SPF, I mean, I'm not a dermatologist, so I couldn't say for definite in terms of long term. However, I would just make sure you've got something that's like a water resistant, waterproof SPF on underneath. So a sun cream that says it's waterproof. And then I'd have thought you'd be okay. Again, I think that's probably more of like a dermatologist question that could definitely answer that for the long term. But my advice would be just to wear a really high SPF underneath that says it's waterproof first. Yay, Steph's ordered. Oh, I can't wait. Thanks, Steph. I'm so excited. Water you should drink. Have not done so much. So I'm just going through your questions still. Let's see how much time we've got left. Do you get anything at the end? Oh, sorry, did someone ask me what you get at the end of the course? So yes, at the end of the course, like I've said, you get the Sigma discount. You get all the knowledge and skills you're going to need that, like I said, are going to change the way you do makeup forever, make it very easy. You've got the email support as well if there's any questions, like during and after the course. And yeah, you get the Sigma discount, which is 20% off, which makes you like a Sigma Pro membership. And you get that even from enrollment, you can have that. So you can use that worldwide online. If you're UK and Ireland, you do also get the Urban Decay 20% discount for standalone stores only. At the minute, they can only offer that for UK and Ireland, I'm afraid. So I'm very sorry about that, guys. But yeah, that one is that's some of the things you get as well on completion of the course. So I'm just checking what's coming up. Got some questions. You've got 2.5 minutes left for anyone who wants to get those limited time bonuses. Would you ever do class-based courses? I'm presuming, does someone mean in person? Is that what you mean, Lou? I think I'm going to take that as that's what you mean. I definitely would love to do that. I think at the minute, my schedule is quite crazy. So it's something that I kind of physically, just checking that's what's said. At the moment, I kind of can't feasibly do it in the way I'd like to. And I think for me, e-courses, the main reason I started All About That Base is I really love the idea that someone in Brazil can do it, someone in America can do it, someone in the UK can do it. And I like the fact that for £65, it's very affordable, I feel, for, compared to courses I've done and, spending a year doing something. It's like you can learn everything, very condensed down, but incredibly informative. And I really think it is one of those things that, I just think I would love to do them in real life as well. I think I probably will eventually, but for the minute, the e-courses are something I really want to give a lot of my time to, again, especially like the email support and stuff like that. I just think it means everyone can do it, which I really like. It's very inclusive. Let's see the Urban Decay. So the Urban Decay, could we not, we who not live in the UK use a Visit London example? Sadly, no. I think, Martina, with the Urban Decay, I can double check that for you, but I'm pretty sure what they said is you have to be a UK or Ireland resident. So that was the terms with the Urban Decay one, I'm afraid. Beatrice, would you recommend the course to makeup artists as well, or will you put a course for professionals in the future? That's a really good question, Beatrice. It's something I would love to do in the future, but I think at the minute, I feel like what I'm more likely to do is even to maybe make bundles or something. So like as I do more courses, they can kind of fit together, because I think so much is covered in this course in particular that a makeup artist could get a lot from it, as much as someone who's a beginner. However, it is kind of aimed at everyone. So it's a general, informative, in-depth course, if that makes sense. So, obviously, if you're a makeup artist that's quite established, there might be certain things to you that aren't as applicable. But then I can kind of show you how I do makeup and how I do it on the red carpet, and that kind of thing, if that makes sense. Thank you, Orica. That's so lovely. Saying it's a great webinar. No standalone stores in Scotland. So I'm not sure how it works with Scotland. Again, I will double check that for you guys, and I can add that to the sales sheets. Anya signed up. Yay, can't wait. Beatrice would, yes, I've answered. I'm just trying to check I've answered all the questions. Okay, time has gone off, guys. Okay, so the limited time bonuses have now finished. I'm going to leave the button up so you can still buy the course, which you still will get with the Skype call. You'll still get that while it's pre-order. So the Skype consultation is still available. However, the other bonuses now were just for the webinar. So you just go back to getting the Skype consultation. So thank you so much, guys, for everyone who has come to the webinar. That's what I meant, Harry. Thanks. Guess what I'm getting for my best? I'm signing out. Oh, thanks, Lou. So yeah, it's been so much fun, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I've loved doing the webinar. Let me know if you want me to do more webinars. Definitely help me spread the word, because I think they're really fun to do. And it's nice that we get to hang out, and I love the Q&A part of it. And I can't wait to share the course with you guys. I really can't. So all your names will have gone up to who signed up for the course. You should be receiving a welcome pack. Any problems at all, just email me, which will just be harriet@harriethatfield.com. Like I said, it should be all quite self-explanatory, but any problems, let me know. And I can't wait to start the course with you guys. I'm really excited. Martina, oh, thank you, Martina. Yeah, it's been so much fun. I've loved it. And I think all that's left to do is say have an amazing Easter. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys. So 3rd of April is when the course will go live, and you'll be sent it. The bonuses as well, the other 2 bonuses, you will also receive on the 3rd. So you will receive the bonuses the day that the course goes live. But the Skype call, you're welcome to arrange whatever. So you'll receive an email probably tomorrow about that, or Tuesday, to arrange the Skype call. So that will be something that can happen as soon as. And once you've enrolled, like I said, I can get the Sigma discount sorted out for you next week. So thanks so much, guys. You guys are so lovely. And enjoy your Easter, and I'll leave all the links below as well, so you can still pre-order and get the Skype bonus, but just the fast action bonuses won't be available anymore. But have a lovely, lovely evening, and thanks so much for your support, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.